Today we're diving into the Huda Beauty Pretty Grunge palette. I'm going to do group swatches, comparisons to other palettes, 4 looks, and I'll give you my final thoughts at the end. So this palette claims to be incredibly versatile because you can do soft, pretty looks as well as more nighttime, deep, intense looks. According to their Instagram, it's supposed to be a blend of rebellion and elegance. We're gonna find out if we can indeed get some soft eye looks out of this palette because it looks pretty dramatic to me. All right, let's jump straight into the swatches. If we split the palette down the middle, on the left side, we have the pretty side, meaning these are the shades that are gonna give you the softer looks. And then on the right side, we have the shades that are gonna give you the more intense, dramatic, grungy looks. Of course, there are no rules. You can just mix and match whatever you want. Overall, I'm seeing desaturated, muted colors, but definitely, yeah, here on the left, a lot more peaches, and here on the right, more purple and eggplant. I'm gonna start swatching the mattes here on the pretty side. Okay, well, this is Liberty. Let me just tell you, this is a burnt peach matte, and we have 11 mattes. So the majority of these shades are mattes. This is Heroine, which is a light peach matte. Those first two were peaches, and now we're getting into the neutral browns. This is Rise Up. Hope is a deeper neutral brown. And then this one, Love Anarchy, is a taupe matte. So here we see the mattes in the pretty group, and we have the peaches, browns, and the taupe. Now moving on to the mattes on the grunge side, starting with Renegade, which is this black. I don't know why their website describes this shade as an ultra black creamy metallic, but it looks very matte to me, not creamy. The next one is Brave. That's a mauve matte. So here we start seeing the purpley tones. Beauty Chaos is a lilac matte. Wow, I don't see, is this gonna be flattering? I don't know about this color. Then we have Nirvana. This is an eggplant brown matte. I wonder how easy this one's gonna be to blend. It's swatching all right. Now Fearless is a purple brown matte. Oh, that's nice. It's a really pretty shade. And then we have Freedom, which is a purple gray matte. And this formula is really powdery. Like you can see here that as I grab it to swatch it, on its way to my arm, there's fallout. Now we're gonna start with the special shades here in the pretty half of the palette. This is Stand Up. It's a copper powder metallic. Very smooth and buttery. It has like a satiny sheen. There's no glitter in it at all. This is a really pretty shade. It feels buttery and smooth with a metallic finish. There's no glimmer to it, just an opaque, nice satin finish. Here's what it looks like on the finger. The next 3 shades are in this column: Avant-Garde, Strong AF, and Maverick. And you can see them here on my fingers. This is Avant-Garde, Strong AF, and Maverick. Let's see what they look like on the arm. Wow, that is very pretty. I'm really liking the tone of the base. It's like a cool, very deep brown. Okay, let's see. It's described as a deep black and gold powder metallic. Yeah, this is beautiful. It has those like twinkly particles. Now let's go to the marbled shade, which is Strong AF. And this is a silver black / purple. Oof, beautiful. This is definitely tying in this shade right here, like the lilac. Brave, which is a mauve. This is gorgeous. And it has like a delicate small particle shimmer. And then we have Maverick, which is a creamy silver metallic. Wow, okay, this is very intense. Is this more of a topper? I'm trying to see if I am getting a little bit of gathering here, but I'm sure it's not a big deal. That can probably be spread out easily. We'll see when I do the looks. This is stunning. It's very much, I want to call it a topper. I don't know. I'm not super sure whether or not it has a base, but it's a stunning glimmer. On the delicate side, like I said. Here's what it looks like on the fingers, very reflective. So the special shades on the pretty side definitely have impact. They're high impact shades, but they do have very delicate particles. They're not chunky. So on one hand, I can see how these could be in the pretty side of things, but you do have these intense shades. Okay, let's continue on to the special shades in the other half, which is the grunge half. And I'm just showing a close-up here. Maybe you'll be able to see the texture better as I put it on my finger. This is Haphazard. Wow, that's gorgeous. Next we have Rebel, which I'm assuming you pronounce it Rebel, not Rebel, because of the spelling. All right, this is it's loosely packed. I don't know if you can see that it's flaky on my finger, and you only need to, like, you don't have to go in there heavily with your finger, just tapping it is enough. And third is Grunge. This is the cream black. Wow, that looks intense. So Haphazard, let me grab some more. I really like this. I like this color, and I am wondering how it'll look with the black as a base. Okay, we'll do it after. First, let's finish swatching all of these. I don't know if I said it or not, but this is like a black base with a metallic purple on top. All right, now Rebel. I'm gonna make some room here because I'm gonna put in here, I'm gonna put this shade on top of the black. Wow, okay, so this is like the most intense out of the entire palette. That's beautiful. How is it described? Let me see, multichromatic shimmer flakes. Okay, yeah, but that doesn't really give me the colors because I'm seeing several colors here. Mainly silver, but also kind of like a lilac. Yeah, like a lilac and even a hint. Do I see green? Like a hint of green, but mainly silver and lilac. In the swatch, wow, how do you describe this color? Like taupe silver with a hint of lilac. Yeah, I think that's what it is. All right, and then we have Grunge. Now, what I want to say with this cream shade is how intense it stays on the lid once you start blending. Do we have to be very careful with this guy, or does it blend and diffuse easily? It looks like it's gonna be very easy to blend, and we don't have to be scared of it. Look how much lighter it's getting over here very quickly. Okay, so what I wanted to do is go back to Haphazard, and let's put it on top of Grunge. All right, so we're using Grunge as a black base, which if you're not familiar with that technique, it makes the eyeshadows that you put on top pop. And that's probably one of the reasons why HUDA included this black cream to be used as an eyeliner and also as a base to intensify other shades. Okay, so I'm going into Haphazard, and we saw Patrick Ta do it with his, I'm not gonna sidetrack, but I'll show you later. So here we have, oh, you see that? Wow, you see the difference that it makes with the black underneath? Okay, let me grab some more and put it right there. Yep, okay. Now let's get Grunge again and put it under Rebel. So which finger? This finger, getting Grunge. Okay, excuse my very messy swatches, but I'm swatching with my left hand, so I am struggling here. And now let's pick up Rebel. Because it's so creamy and emollient, the black, I'm kind of using tapping motions because otherwise, well, let's see what happens. Let's swipe. Yeah, it works. So what are we seeing here? The shade looks very different, doesn't it? Let's put on some more. It's a different effect. It looks very different, right? What else? Well, now I want to keep this going. I want to see what Maverick looks like on top of Grunge. So I'm gonna grab, let me get a clean finger. I'm gonna grab Maverick and let's put it right here on top of Grunge. This is Maverick with no black underneath, and Maverick with black underneath. It just turns into like a silver, but I guess I'm seeing the most difference when it comes to using the Grunge, the cream black. It makes a big difference here with the Haphazard shade. You see how it intensifies it? And this one too. Yeah, it gives the shades a different look. So now you see what all the special shades look like. So here are all the special shades. I am particularly loving Haphazard on top of the black cream. This one is super pretty, but it's more common, right? To see just like a glimmery champagne. And I like this one, which is Maverick. By itself, I don't like it so much on top of the black. And here we have all of the swatches with the mattes on the left and the special shades on the right. All right, this is gonna be look number 1, and it's a soft look. What I am doing first is I'm taking Rise Up, which is a neutral brown, and I am putting it here on the crease. Beautiful formula. I can tell right away that it is easy to blend. And I'm using my Refer 16 brush, and then I'm going into Liberty, which is a peach shade. It is so pigmented. So I'm tapping it here on my wrist. And with this, I am also gonna run it lightly here along the crease, but focusing it more on the outer V and dragging it out just because I like how that looks with the eyeshadow blended all the way out here. And a little bit of Liberty here under the brow, under the inner brow. So now we have a touch of peach. Now I'm gonna take Heroin with my Sigma E42. Again, it's very powdery, this formula. And I'm gonna pop it here just to add some brightness towards the inner part of the lid and also out here on the brow bone. And this is gonna be a really nice color to help us blend any edges that might look harsh later on, because this is very much a bone color, even though it's described as a light peach. And with the same brush, I'm gonna take Rise Up. Now we're doing the lower lash line, and I'm gonna take Rise Up, which is the first shade that we put on the lid. I'm gonna run it lightly, and then still with the same brush, I'm taking Liberty and also putting a touch of Liberty. We're just mimicking what we did above. And you can leave it like this for a really, really soft look, but I'm curious to see what Love Anarchy looks like. This is the taupe matte. So I want to see how much depth it gives us. I'm going to throw it here on the outer crease just to see. Yeah, it's giving us more depth, especially if you're using a smaller brush, a dense brush. And I'm just concentrating it here on this part of the crease just to give me more depth. Beautiful. I am really loving that this shade Love Anarchy is giving me a touch of depth without going into really deep territory, as I imagine that Hope would take us. Hope is this deeper neutral brown. So that depends whether you want to leave things here. I think this looks beautiful. Let me go back to my Refer 16 just to blend things out a little bit more. All right, but even though this is a soft look, I am gonna put on the shimmer. This is Stand Up, the copper powder, and I'm putting it on with my finger. Oh, that's beautiful. Oops. Oh man, I just got it under my eye. Now this metallic is really accentuating any texture. Let me see if I can smooth it out just by blending it. Yeah, if you have textured lids, I don't know how you'll feel about this one. Let me know in the comments what you think, because it might not be super flattering. Now for the second look, let's see if we can get a soft look out of the grunge half. And I'm gonna do two of the colors that I have doubts about, which are Freedom and this lilac one, Beauty Chaos. I just don't see how those would look good, but let's try them out. So starting with Freedom, and I'm gonna put that all over the lid. It's gonna go everywhere. And this is the purple gray matte. I never think of putting gray on my eyes, actually. Okay, there's our purple gray all over the lid. And now with my Refer 14, I'm gonna go into Beauty Chaos, the lilac one. What do I wanna do with this one? I guess put it on the crease. This is deepening the look pretty quickly, so let me tap off the eyeshadow, the brush. Okay, on the lower lash line, we're gonna go back to Freedom, which is a purple gray, and then the lilac, Beauty Chaos, just out here in the outer third of the lower lash line. Okay. These tones, they don't look bad at all. They look pretty good. Definitely personal preference, but it's working. I like it. I do not want to leave it at this because I want to take every opportunity to try out the special shades. But since this is supposed to stay on the softer look, I am thinking I'm gonna go with Maverick, because this one, I think this is the one that has more of a clear base. So I'm hoping this can act as more of a topper, but wow, look at that. that is very intense. So I don't know. Again, maybe this is something that you would consider a soft look. For me, it is approaching glam territory very fast. So this is what we have so far. Now I am going to use the matte black Renegade as eyeliner. And I'm using my Scott Barnes 59 brush, which I love using for eyeliner because it has really dense bristles and they're stiff. So it really makes it easy to stamp the shadow where I want it. So just a little bit on the lash line. Okay, just like that. And here are both soft looks already finished. This is the peachy one and this is more the lilac slash purple slash gray one. Let me know which one you like more. This is look number 3, but the first of the dramatic looks. So I'm going to start with the shade Freedom all over the eye on my Refer 16, which is the one that I was using before. And I want a light wash of this purple gray matte. This is gonna be my transition shade. And as you know that I like to do, I bring it out to this area of the eye to create that elongated effect. And now I'm going to take Grunge, the cream black color, and I'm gonna use that as my base. So I'm gonna put it right here with my finger. You can use a brush if you want to. I just don't want to gunk up my brushes. And the finger works perfectly, if not better than the brush for these types of formulas. Well, except that you might get it where you don't want it because the finger is not as precise. I think I actually took a lot of that shade. So I'm just gonna wipe my finger here on my little rag and go back and diffuse the edges. Okay, yes, I got a lot of cleanup to do, but that's okay. Now this reminds me that I wanted to show you a comparison of this black versus something like the Patrick Ta black, which really does a good job at illustrating that you should not be intimidated of this at all, because there's others that are much more intense and they are still very easy to work with. So this is Grunge, and now this is Patrick Ta's. You see that? You see how much more intense and black it is? So really it looks a little bit scary, this Grunge one. It looks a little bit scary on the pan, but it's very controllable. You can sheer it out really well. So don't be scared of it. This is the HUDA's and Patrick Ta's. And again, the Patrick Ta one, I love also as a base and as liner. Just wanted to show you different levels of depths. Okay, I cleaned up the black. So I am taking a brush after all just to soften up the edges. This is a synthetic bristled brush. This is gonna be better than say a natural hair brush at blending out the cream, even though this one seems to be very easy to blend. So I think the natural hair brushes would work just fine. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into Haphazard, which is, if you remember, the shade that I put. How can I show you this? Okay, so yeah, this, I have the black underneath Haphazard, which I really, really liked. So that is what we're gonna be doing. Here it is, look at that, how gorgeous. It's metallic purple with a black base. Just adds so much interest and just depth to the look, and it's a gorgeous shade of purple. Now I'm taking Nirvana. This is the eggplant brown on a Refer 01, and I'm gonna use it to darken the outer V out here and also to blend the edge out because it needs some cleanup. Now I'm gonna take Heroin to help me clean things up. So here under the brow bone. Now with a Sigma E30, I'm gonna take Brave and put that on the lower lash line. And now we're gonna go into Rebel, which is the most intense and blingy shade of them all. And I'm gonna tap it in the center of the lid. Wow, a little bit goes a long way. I want to keep going. I'm just gonna build it up here in the center. Wow. All right, so far so good. I'm really loving this look. Now I'm gonna put on some liner and mascara and I'll be right back. For my lower lashes, I used this liner from Makeup Forever in the shade Ivy. This is a really pretty eggplant liner. That's what it looks like. So it goes perfectly with this look. All right, let's get started with look number 4. This is gonna be an intense but more warm look. So I'm taking Liberty and I am gonna put this all over the lid and along the crease. And I'm also gonna run Liberty right here on the lower lash line. Now I'm gonna take Hope, which is a deep matte brown on my Referral 1. Super pigmented, super powdery. Make sure you tap off the excess. And I'm just gonna pack it here where I want it. Tapping motions, then drag it through the crease softly. With a pointy brush, Sigma E30, I'm gonna grab more of that Hope and just get it here close to the lash line. I want the maximum amount of depth out here. Now I really want to see what Avant-Garde is gonna look like on the rest of the lid. This is the deep black and gold powder metallic. Very soft. Got a lot on my brush here. I don't even want to tap it because it's gonna get all over my computer and stuff. So I'm just gonna tap carefully. It's pretty, but it's not giving to me, like, which one was it? Yes, it was this one. It's looking a little different on the lid. Let's put on some more. Because essentially, I want to see what kind of finish it gives us and whether the sparkle really shows up or not. Okay, so far, this is not a shade that is wowing me necessarily. It's a nice metallic black with a little bit of purple in there, but this essentially looks black, really. So, okay. Now that we saw what that looks like on the lid, let's add, I want to see what the marbled shade, Strong AF, what that looks like. I was gonna say all over the lid, but let's see. Yeah, maybe all over the lid. What I'm noticing is that even with these super bold shades, like the Avant-Garde one we just used, they're super easy to blend. Like, I just very softly drag my brush along the edge and it's blending out perfectly. So there's really very user-friendly, even though they're very bold colors. Okay, so we're gonna take Strong AF. Oh, that's a nice kind of, I want to say like a graphite color or silver, a dark silver. Oh, that's pretty. I'm even gonna grab my brush. I don't know, should I put it in the inner corner? I think it's too dark for the inner corner. But that is looking beautiful and it's giving a different look, right? Because this one is more purple and this one, how is it described on their website? Hold on, I have my notes here. Silver, black, purple, creamy, marble, metallic. So they're similar, but Haphazard looks more purple on the eye. These looks are looking pretty similar so far. So what can I do to differentiate this one? I am thinking, let's add a bit of this lilac. And I'm gonna put it along the edge here. And I'm also going to pinch my brush and I'm gonna put it here on the lower lash line. And seriously, be aware that this is so powdery. See that? So I'm putting this lilac. Now, I was a teenager in the 90s, and this is not reminding me of any like 90s grunge. I've heard people say that this is more like a soft goth look. I think it's also more of like cyberpunk look. I do like it. These looks are still looking pretty similar, but whatever. Now I want to use Maverick. Did we use Maverick? And no, we didn't, right? Did we? No, we didn't. Yeah, because I want to use as many of the special shades as possible because they're fun. So let's put Maverick. What do we think of Maverick? This looks definitely more silvery than this eye, and it doesn't have any purple in it. This is just straight up silver. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this silver all the way into the inner corner, and even with a pointy brush, I'm gonna take that silver with the same pointy brush, the Sigma E30. I'm just wiping it off here in my rag. And then I'm gonna take Maverick, put it here in the inner corner, a pretty intense inner corner. And perhaps I'm gonna take more Maverick and softly bring it up along the crease. I'm gonna go put on some eyeliner and I'll be right back. And And both looks are finished. I am back with lashes and liner. Well, no lashes actually, just mascara and liner. And the main difference is that on this side, my waterline, I'm wearing an eggplant, a dark color. On this side, I'm using this one from Chantecaille in the shade Nude. As for my final thoughts, I think you'll agree that we were able to create some soft looks with this palette, both the peachier tones and also more the lilac eggplant tones. Mainly, yes, I would say that this palette is more, stands out with these super smoky, dramatic looks, and I am in love with the shades, well, Haphazard on top of the cream black, on top of Grunge. That's what we put on this eye. And then I topped it off with Rebelle. Also so gorgeous. Yes, it's super high impact, all of that. But what makes it special is that purple. It is so gorgeous. It's silver and purple in there. It really looks beautiful. I love it. Overall, I like this palette. I'm not gonna say that it's groundbreaking, but if you like these looks, if you like these tones, I think it's great to have. The quality is fantastic. The shades blended in beautifully. They were easy to blend, even though we had really bold, really deep shades. They always blended out perfectly. I never had a problem. I do agree with its claim that it's versatile. I do think it's versatile because it does have a mix of warm and cool tones. Mainly, like I said in the intro, they are muted tones. They come in a wide variety of depths, so you can do a lot with these shades. Overall, I am thrilled to have this palette as part of my collection, and I can't wait to play with it more. You guys, let me know which look you liked better. Look number 1, look number 2, look number 3, or look number 4.